what does it look like when a community here in Gwinnett opens the doors to people with special abilities? And I think you're not going to want to miss this interview with two very special ladies who have actually made that not just a dream, but make it a possibility for those that are in our county, especially here in the community of Beaufort. And we're going to see what it looks like and what the experience is and why, the heart behind it all. Again, guys, this is Gwinnett and I'm Gus, and we're going to go inside to Brightside Cafe and we're going to go deeper into this story behind Brightside Cafe and what makes it really for us to look on the bright side of life. So we're going to go inside and order a coffee and see how we're welcomed here at Brightside.
Great.
That's amazing. So I just like black coffee.
Just regular black coffee?
Yeah, we'll do hot. Hot. Let's do a medium. Yeah.
You got it. Perfect. And she asked you a quick question.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for making time. I really appreciate this. So, I mean, I was telling her that in my research and wanting to put something that's like heartfelt and meaningful with what's happening in the community and in Gwinnett, Brightside came up. And so about a month ago, I put it up in the newsletter.
Okay.
And the more I looked into it, I was like, I'm going to look into this. And I started seeing all the videos, started seeing the website, and I was just immediately moved by everything that you ladies are doing. And with that being said, I just want to get this out of the way now. So I don't know. I think my wife probably mentioned it. And why it means so much to me is because for the past 13 years, I worked with him.
Why we know him.
So I've worked with him.
Awesome.
And so
he's amazing.
So for about 7 years, I was his caregiver.
Oh.
So we traveled across the world and doing all these things. And then that turned into my wife and I doing missions at YWAM in Hawaii and training and all that stuff. And then we moved back. And then, long story short, when we moved back to California, like there was a transition between him and then I became his social media manager, which I still do now remotely. And Lord willing, in about a week and a half, we'll be in Africa, going to 4 different countries, and he'll be doing some speaking engagements.
Oh, that's so
It's
that's
not
awesome.
the best copy because it didn't make it to travel, but this is one of my last signed copies of his book, and I wanted to give it to you guys.
Oh, no.
At Brightside. It's his book called Unstoppable.
Oh,
and so I just, as a thank you. Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read that. I just read a book called The Joy Exchange, and it completely just puts into perspective all the things that we're doing and why it's so important.
Yeah.
And so, that's so cool. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah. It's just a token of my appreciation saying thank you. So, yeah.
We just love when people believe in who we are and what we're doing.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit more about Brightside. There's
cool, awesome. So I'll kind of start. I was a teacher for 21 years.
Yeah.
And every time I would be in IEP meetings for my transition students, their parents would say, okay, now I've graduated high school, what next? And every single time it just like broke my heart because I'm thinking, what do you mean what next? Like, why don't you know what's next? Like you're, kind of thing. And so, anyway, fast forward a couple of years, I was on the internet and I was watching some reels on Instagram, and a place came up that's kind of like this with the same mission.
Yeah.
And so I went to Athens and I visited, and I was there for like 5 hours and fell in love and went to the owner and said, listen, I need this in my community. Like my people need this in our community. And so those are our people. Yeah. And so anyway, we, it was going to be an upward down or like no's, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And so, when I talked to the lady, the only thing she said was don't franchise. Think of it outside the box.
Yeah.
And being a teacher, I didn't follow rules very well, so I knew I didn't want to do a franchise. So fast forward about 5 years, and just through a lot of no's, a lot of all the things, just breaking my heart over and over again. I was teaching online, and my husband came in and said, hey, I want to show you a place. And so I reluctantly was like, I don't want to do this. Like, my heart just can't take it anymore. And he was like, just get in the car and let's go. So we got in the car and we came here. And I walked in, and it immediately was like, this is it.
This right here, this location.
Yes, this location. It was like God just said, Jennifer, this is why I've been telling you no, because this is the place I'm supposed to be. And so we had a little place, a little Special Olympics at our gym. We own a gym about a mile away. And Carrie and her husband came, and
that's the PE training.
That's the PE training. He knows a lot about it. Yeah. And so, okay, good job. Yes. So we actually had a Special Olympics there with a lot of my kids came and teachers and stuff. And Michael and Carrie just helped and fell in love. And so when I got to tell them what I wanted to do, they didn't really know before. And I just said, y'all, listen, now that I know that you love what I do, I really want to sit down and talk about our mission and what I really want to do. And they were like, we are in, let's do it. And so that day that I walked in here, I called her and I said, here, I need you to be here like in 15 minutes. I think I found a place. And she goes, okay. So they get in the car and they come up here and literally walked in and went, this is it. We found this.
And that was when it looked like the way you described it to me.
Yeah.
Bangs, some balls.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Is that the outdoors thing?
Yeah.
Or let's just not.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it would have been so different looking at this. This is just, it's so
out exactly how we go.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and just even down to the counter, like when I can remember sitting at the place where this vision came and being at something just like that.
Yeah.
And being able to, like, I walked away with 6 new best friends like that day.
In Athens.
Just in Athens, just for sitting at their counter.
Wow.
I could have picked a seat out,
right.
but I wanted to know what was happening. And meeting those people, it was like, my community needs this. And so it's funny because, you know, God's funny like that. Makes you wait and all the things, and then puts you slap in the middle of people who are already believing in this mission, if that makes sense, who've done this, that's in their schools and things like that, to maybe a community that just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And so we say all the time, we're the bridge that kind of builds the gap.
That's awesome.
Those that already know and those that needed to know.
Yeah.
And it's cool because now this side's knowing and they're accepting, and it's that kind of cool. So it's fun. It's awesome. Yeah.
You care to add to that? Yeah. Part of your story, because there's, you know, you came in on that Special Olympics.
She had her Special Olympics type thing at the gym, and I mean, again, Michael and I were just floored by it and thought it was awesome and amazing, and seeing their happy faces and the joy that they got out of doing what they did. I mean, it was such an awesome experience, and we walked away that day being like, this is like one of the best days of our lives.
Yeah.
And to be able to do something like that every day, to come to work and hang out with these guys every day, I mean, can't even, like, there's nothing that compares to it. And it's like we thought it's the best job we're doing. Like, not, you know, love being around these guys.
Yeah.
So, and I had, you know, in the past, my husband and I talked about opening a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, $6 cup of coffee. So, you know, the margins are kind of small. So we were like, you know, probably just a fun little dream to have one day. But then, you know, coffee shop, all our friends. And so we're like, if this is going to work, it's going to work. Because, I mean, how can it not? You know, who doesn't want to support something like that?
Yeah.
So it's been a great year and a half, 2 years.
And I'll say, like, if for me, for someone who isn't dated with it, I've been this all my life. Like, I knew at a very young age that this is what, not necessarily a coffee shop, but teaching special ed was what I was going to do. To seeing someone who may not have been immersed in this for life, or like her family or whatever, come along and go, and all of a sudden fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And to just, like, grow in her ability to recognize that this is important has been really cool.
That's incredible
to be a part of.
I mean, I noticed the language on the website specifically says special abilities.
Yes.
So I want to use that.
Yes.
So other than teaching and you just being introduced, none of you guys, ladies, have that in your family, none of your children. It was just more of like, this is my heart. I want to serve this community. So that's amazing. That's awesome. Because normally what I've seen is people who have family members who have special abilities. They're like, let's do something for them.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So a lot of places that you'll find, it's a mom who couldn't find something for their child to do after they graduate from school. For me, it was a little different because I taught this, and then all of these families were sitting in these meetings going, What now? What you gonna do? Like, you've taught them all these skills.
Right.
But what's the point of teaching them all the skills if they're just gonna, I mean, literally, we've had parents come in here and tell us that their children, their grown adult children, are basement dwellers.
Wow.
And you're going, I'm sorry, you called your child what? Like, don't say that. But it's the truth.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of options. And so through that, it's funny because, and I'm sure we'll get to this in a minute, but through this, like, we've started this, what was supposed to be just a coffee shop that employed some people with some special abilities. There's no longer just a coffee shop. It's like this huge mission to teach a community of business leaders that you don't have to have a coffee shop full of our guys to make a difference.
Yeah.
You could open up your business and you could do this too by providing whatever it is you can provide within your business to hire as well. Yeah. And so while I may not be able to save everybody,
right,
we have the ability to teach you how to do that. And so now we can go to these people who are at 22 and we call it the bus no longer comes in education, and say, okay, let us show you how this can work and where some places are that maybe you could get a job.
So
there are lots of businesses that have, probably everybody has some space in their business
for sure
that they can do. Rolling silverware, sweeping hair, all the kind of things, which is what we have gotten to, that they've found a place where these guys can thrive.
Yeah.
They don't have to do hard things. They can do all the fun little easy things that, you want to challenge them at, they can do it.
Yeah.
They've proven to us that they can rise to the challenge.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. The most common places I find people with special abilities is bagging groceries.
Right.
I think so. That's always special to be there and then just talk to them and stuff.
But now in our community, you can find them at the local roofing company. You could find them knocking on doors. That's the best.
Yes.
Our Andy is like, I work for, But up here at the salon, we have someone at the Allstate agent. We have Off the Rails, the restaurant. And it's funny because Ryan, who is at Off the Rails, he knows, he in his little, we do hiring parties when we get these people hired. Mm-hmm. And in his hiring video, he said, I'm going to start at the bottom, but I'm going to make it to the highest rank. And he really, in a month, literally, went from rolling what we thought was going to be rolling silverware to, doing delivering chips and dip and cleaning on potatoes and, just
squeezing the lime juice, drinking behind the bar.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
His goal is to be a bar back. And you're and he was a guy who literally was riding the streets on his bike, and a lot of people were kicking him out of places because they didn't understand him. Right. They didn't understand that he had probably high functioning autism and just lived with his grandpa and didn't know he could have a job.
Yeah.
And so we opened that door for him, and now he has a job, and he's early. He stays late.
In a million years, he can never dream.
No.
That's amazing.
Well, he said that.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think anybody would hire me. Mm. And I'm like, oh, they will, because we will help you. And literally, it was funny because just in that one story, we walked in, we were here, and he had been hanging out Off the Rails, and I kind of made a comment of, hey, man, you get a little big right there, what's going on? It's been eating a lot.
And he'd been visiting us for a year. He had
grown a little bit. Well,
come
to find out, they were feeding him free French fries and free Coke, because they loved him. And so I said, do you pay for that? And he said, oh, no, they won't let me pay for it. And I said, well, do you work for it? Because things don't come free, right? Like skills, right? Yeah. We all need to know life skills and that things aren't free and that businesses struggle. And that's something that these guys need to know and understand. Yeah. And so we just had a long talk, and he said, do you think I could get a job there? And I went, I don't know. Do you need to borrow my confidence? And he went, you would do that for me? And I said, I will race you there. So he gets on his bike, and I get in my car, and we raced all the way down Main Street. And I got in, I walked in before him, and I said, y'all, I have Ryan, and we're here for a job. And they were like, are you kidding me? We've been waiting for this. And I'm like, what do you mean you've been waiting for this? Why didn't you just hire him? And it comes to the number one question you get is, what is my liability? So people think, rightfully so, people don't know what they don't know until we teach them, right?
Yeah.
So the number one thing that people think is that there has to be some special insurance policy for them to work and all the things.
Right.
What if he cuts his hand? What if I cut mine? Like, it's
Exactly.
the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah. But they don't understand that because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't, and you don't know what you don't know, so you don't do anything about it, right? We just stay in this world that we just are comfortable with.
Right.
So I met with the manager and then the other manager at Bare Bones, and then they brought in the owners, and they were like, let's do it. Like, we love him, let's do it. So we interviewed him in a formal interview.
Yeah.
And Grandpa came because he lives with his grandpa and was really worried about Social Security insurance because that's a thing. And losing a Medicaid and how much can they get paid, which is a whole nother episode, trust me, which we're going to address that eventually. That's next on the foundation's list. But it's sad because these people want to work. They want to have purpose. They want this belonging in their community, right? But the government has this say-so of, well, we're going to kind of keep a hold, so we're going to let you work, but not enough to make a living.
Yeah.
And not enough to have insurance because the insurance is so expensive. They need to hold on to that Medicare or Medicaid to be able to pay for their therapies and all the things, I'm sure your friend is, has some of that too. But the problem is that maybe stamina is an issue, maybe health is an issue. There's so many different things that play into that. And so anyway, we met with Grandpa and that happened, and the kid's been all over Star 94 and he's been all over Atlanta Live News, and he's super famous now. He's so funny. And so, but we have watched him go from this kid that rides a bike, 21 years old, to this man who is outdoing all the odds that have been set against him.
Even when you see him now and talk to him, his personality's changed. He's so more vibrant. He's like
even down to the customers. Like we were in here the other day and somebody showed them, we're like, oh, we go to Off the Rails just to see Ryan. Like, awesome. So even the customers, like the people they work with, like we're in there filming for Channel 11 one day, and they're over there in the corner. What's wrong? They're like, we just love y'all and we love them, and this has changed our life. So it's changing the culture of the community. And we feel like Brightside is doing that as well, because these businesses that would not have done this otherwise without the challenge. So every time we get in front of businesses, we're constantly like, we challenge you. Open your eyes so that you can open your heart, and then your business will flourish.
Yeah.
Because when you put one of these guys inside, it changes things.
Yeah.
And it just changes the morale because they're always happy. It changes your culture because your employees are going, well, if they can do it, I got no excuse.
Right.
And so it's funny because that's the one thing that Dylan said to us, the manager there. He said to us, literally, he said, and I think he even said it on Atlanta Live News of if he can show up 2 hours beforehand and on a bike, no matter what the weather is.
Right.
And he can do things like take down chairs and set bar tables and all the things for free, and then work his shift.
Yeah.
Don't call me and tell me you can't be here because you got to get your hair done or something like that, right? Like this is teaching people the value that they have in a work culture. So it's cool. We love it. It's fun.
Are you looking for the Wi-Fi?
It's Shine Bright, all small letters.
So I'm looking around. From what my wife told me when she came in and asked you questions, like there are dozens and dozens of people on your waiting list who are wanting to get into these positions, but specifically here, right, as well, as a starting place.
Yep.
And you ladies are setting like a precedent for not just for Beaufort, but for the county, for Georgia, and for beyond.
Yeah.
Anybody who has seen that video and so on.
And that's what we said in the end with Liability. We opened up to be a coffee shop. And now we feel like we're like the stepping stone for them to just launch out to whatever.
That's
we just get to be a small part of their story, and then becoming, wherever
does all the things, but he's very creative. And he actually, his favorite thing to do here is scrape ice in the freezer with his 3D printer's ice scraper.
Oh, really?
Like, it's not, the creativeness is amazing.
Yep.
And so he, but gets a little overwhelmed when it's busier. Well, because we've been on all these things, we're getting a little busier on a Saturday when he can work. And so we had this business, Creative Wear. It's like a printing shirt type business that came and said, hey, I'd love to hire somebody. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is genius for Alex. He could totally learn how to do screen printing and how to work, like, be creative in art and things like that.
In a quieter
place that's back by himself, and he doesn't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And he can feel like he's contributing in all the things. And so he actually, I was like, Alex, listen, like, I've got this opportunity. What do you think? And he was like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to do this. And so his mom was trying to work with him on getting like a restaurant or the grocery store, because that's what everybody does, right? And he's like, Jennifer, I do not want to work this.
Yeah.
Like, how do I tell my mom? And I said, let's just present this to her. And so we did. He got an interview, and we helped with that situation. And Michelle over there loved him. And so they went to the interview. Mom sat in the car, and he was telling him, she was walking around telling him everything. And he said, can I go show my mom this so that my mom will understand that this might be good for me? So they go out. We both got immediate phone calls of, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is going to be so much better for him. Like, he's going to thrive here.
Wow.
We love them. So even helping them understand.
That was the mom.
Yeah, that was the mom.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, she's like, you have no clue. Like, this is going to help him. And it could be a forever job. Like Creative Wear is like, they want it forever. Right?
Wow.
And so, but what's really cool is like what mom thought he could do and what maybe he thought he could do has transformed just by saying, okay, what do you love to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everybody's going to want to sling coffee for the rest of their life.
Right.
And that's okay.
And we get the opportunity to recognize that with our guys and working with them here in the Gwinnett.
Yeah.
We see, hey, this is their strengths, this is,
Yeah.
everybody's got strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And so we get a chance to figure that out, kind of help guide them. Like, some of the jobs they've gotten, like this, like Alex and, Stephanie.
Well, Stephanie, one of our volunteers, she was here for a week, and we were like, Stephanie, what do you like to do? Because we knew we couldn't hire her in school. We would love to. She's like, and we love her. But the problem is we can't. And so she was volunteering here, and we were like, what do you like to do? She goes, well, I really like hair. I really like to work in a salon. And my aunt owns a salon. I got to volunteer there when I lived there. And we were like, we have a salon. It's right there.
Yeah.
So the other day, she'd been working there for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And she said she was volunteering here because we still let her volunteer because we love her. And she goes, Miss Jennifer, have you ever heard of Hannah Montana? And I'm like, yeah. Well, got me some Hannah Montana. And she goes, I'm kind of like Hannah Montana. I have the best of both worlds. And she goes, I get to work at the salon and the coffee shop.
That's awesome.
And so we did a little TikTok, and it was so great. But it's really finding just like me. Like, I love to teach.
Yes.
But I was kind of just not finding love in that anymore because of all the other things that come along with teaching.
Yeah.
Couldn't so much teach my students anymore. I had to do all the other stuff. This, I have found like my true purpose in life. I love this. There's not a day that goes by. We're tired. We're tired. We're tired. We worked 7 days a week last week, and we're like, but there's not a day that goes by that we're not like new and refreshed because we know we get to impact.
Yeah.
Or something happens where like this, or the National Down Syndrome Congress guy is here. Like, that's a big deal, and it's just cool to know that we're impacting a group of people.
Embrace.
Yeah.
Everything that we're doing. So
It's cool.
Yeah.
And all that also goes back to the advice that you were given not to franchise, because you can make your own rules for the most part.
Yes.
And
thank the Lord.
Decide what you want to do, what you don't want to do.
Yeah, and it's been really cool because if had we franchised that, there would be no foundation.
No.
Right.
There would be no being. There would be no. So again, Lord works in mysterious ways, and things that we thought we were going to do. We thought we were going to have a cafe and it was going to be really fun. Well, little did we know.
Right.
This is the whole thing.
In light of that, I wrote down, because there's so much. So you have the cafe, which is like the entry point for customers, for those that want to work here. And then you have on the go, which is the truck
trailer
parked right outside. And then you do special events. And you have scholarships, right? You have scholarships for people who want to work, but then also, okay.
So
and then
special educators, and then life skills programs. So like Clemson Live, KSU Academy, Georgia Tech Excel. So a couple of our guys went to some of those programs, and you can almost tell immediately those that did and some of those that didn't, even down to independence and things like that. And just that. It's just a little different.
Yeah.
And so,
for instance, don't help her. Don't help me. I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. So,
you don't want no help.
Yeah.
And then you had something called, I don't know if it was your first and only, but Brightside Games?
Yes. So
First, not the only, but the first.
I'm assuming there was more to the said the first Brightside Games.
So we do 3 big fundraisers, and then we have some small ones in about. So we do our Brightside Bunny Run, which is a 5K right here in downtown Beaufort. We do a gala. It's a gala, but we do a talent show with it. It's called One Bright Night Talent Show.
And you had that, December?
That was in February.
February, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. It got moved.
And then we did the Brightside Games. And the Brightside Games are like this, and it's so funny because it kind of stems from how we started on
full circle.
And so it was so
Special Olympics that you did at your training facility.
We should have one of these for the community one day. That day. And it was like, so what kind of fundraiser? Oh, we're having a, so it's like a Special Olympics / field day. And then we brought in a little bit of a golf tournament. So we sponsor it like a golf tournament. So the games are like holes.
Okay.
So businesses set up, instead of setting up a hole, they set up a game, and then they get to interact with the buddies and the
that's amazing.
And they sponsor that game. And then we have buddies like Night to Shine that partner, and they take them around and play games. And then we have vendors. We have a parent resource fair where we invite all the nonprofits or the for-profits, either one, who deal with anything special abilities. So it could be home care, church groups, therapy groups. It doesn't matter. Wheelchair 5K runners, it doesn't matter. They get to come and they get set up for free, because we believe that in order for parents to know at 22 what to do with your children, you have to be immersed in what is offered out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just they don't know the resources.
Right.
And so it's a place where their kid can come and have fun, meet a new friend, eat lots of yummy food, and parents can learn all about what there is in Gwinnett County and beyond.
Yeah.
This year we're going to have a Touch a Truck.
Yep.
The Sugar Hill Marshal is sponsoring that. We have a mini car show with pool cars, Ferraris, and all the things.
Awesome.
We do jumpy houses and axe throwing, all the inflatable stuff.
And when is this happening?
October the 4th this year.
Okay.
So last year we had it on downtown Beaufort, where they do all the concerts, the community center, and there were over 1,000 people on campus. It was crazy. I mean, and people would go, "This is
that the one in the video?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And they would go, "Wait, this is your first time doing this?" And we're like, "Yes, it is."
That's incredible.
So this year is going to be phenomenal. That week that we did it, a church actually called us, a local church, and said, "Can we have this on our campus? And we will not charge you anything."
Wow.
So now we're down. We have bathrooms. We have a gym to put all the parent resource fairs, so parents don't have to be hot anymore.
Yeah.
And we don't need
it. It was like September, end of September. It was like 95 degrees that day.
Yeah. So we'll have that. And then we've got, companies are going, "Can we be involved? Can we have this?" We have a presenting sponsor this year, which is super, super cool. And it's just a time for the community. Our whole goal was, if this is going to work, we have to get our community involved, right? Like we can't not get the community involved, because they need to know what's happening here. And so there we get teenagers and kids to buddy and be partners, some adults as well. We get We get businesses to come and set up, and now your entire community is involved in what's happening, and then they get to learn about Brightside at the same time and what we're doing. And it literally was a good turning point for us, and people were like, "This is awesome." So yeah, it's probably my favorite events to do.
They're all fun.
They all are fun, but that one's really. It's bringing in, so like you have your runner group, right?
Yeah.
I am not running, but I love them. And you have your talent people, and you have your businesses who want to sponsor a gala and dress up and be fancy, right? And then you have your sports people. So it's really like, and this month we're doing a line dancing.
What is it called?
Sure, what's
Scooting and booting.
It's called the Brightside Scoot Booting.
There you go.
Scoot fundraiser.
I have it here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Scooting fundraiser bash.
So we were like, we had at the gala, we had this group that it was 19 women and one man, and they do line dancing, and they came and they did an act in our show, and they were like, we need to do something more, and so we're like, let's do a line dancing night. Like that would bring out a completely different crowd, and so just really addressing each group of people that might come out to teach anyone and everybody that will listen about the Brightside mission.
That's awesome.
So if you have anybody that needs to know, we will do something different.
Well, I'm putting all the links in the description for people to know and everything.
Sweet.
The last two things I think stood out to me are like your volunteer opportunities. You have team leaders and buddies, right? Tell me a little bit more about like those three options.
So we have people come in all the time asking to volunteer. So we have any adults or teenagers from probably 16 and up can come in and volunteer at the cafe, volunteer at any of our events. So we have a place on our website where those guys can go in and choose a space and then come and volunteer. For the adults, they can we say if you want to just call us and say, hey, can I come in and volunteer today? Sure. We have a few people that are every week we have a guy that comes in every Wednesday and works the morning, helps out volunteer. We have an older gentleman that comes in on Tuesdays and helps us out. He's a retired man that wants to come in and help volunteer. And then we have and then with us having such a long wait list, we opened it up to those folks or anybody that we've had people like Jasmine, for instance, one of the girls that came in she wanted to get a job here. I don't even know if she's on our wait list. Or she's on too. We're like, hey, we'll interview you, volunteer, come in, and Jasmine was here for a day, and she got a job.
We got her a job.
Yeah. So
and it's perfect.
Yeah. We have some guys that come in regularly every week that volunteer. There's 2 slots per shift, so we have 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and they can come in and volunteer. They just have to sign up on our website. They do have to interview first and make sure.
We know who they are and what kind of men.
Set them up to giving them helping them interview, plus we're setting them up for they're setting them up, to hopefully get them a job somewhere else. So we do need to,
And those opportunities are open to anyone?
So our guys have an opportunity, anyone with a special ability. The mentor is more around your high school age kids, college age kids, and then we have a team leader, which would be an adult. If we needed to go in the back and work, they could, become us.
Okay.
Manage us.
Okay.
So we have 2 gentlemen who do that on a regular basis in the
You're good. You're welcome.
She's sweet. We all wore the same color today.
That's awesome.
We love it.
So these are the team, the leader, and the buddy. Those are for anyone with special abilities that can come.
So the team leader, the part of the team is our special ability.
Okay.
The team leader is us, anyone without a special ability.
Okay.
And then a mentor is
are those the buddies?
Regular. That would be that would be a buddy. Yeah, the mentor.
Okay.
So we try to use different terminology for the people
Yeah.
So like it would be mentor buddy or team leader versus manager or employee versus part of the team.
Yeah. And so the last thing, thanks for sharing all that. I think what you didn't expect would come out of the cafe was the bean, right?
Yes.
I saw that on the website. So I think that's crucial to what you ladies are doing. So, I mean, you've already been sharing it without saying you were sharing about it.
Yeah,
right.
But in a more honed in way for those that are just listening and how they can find out more, what is the bean?
So the bean is the Brightside Empowerability Network. And so what we do is we pair with businesses to teach them how to employ people with special abilities. So we do a 4-week course. It's 1 hour a week. Any business can do it. They just let us know. And we start with the why. This is important. So your statistics. What percentage of these guys are employed across the United States? We tell them why this is the reason. Well, it could be health reasons. It could be part-time versus full-time work. It could be whatever. It could be mom and dad are worried about Social Security. Transportation. Like there's so many reasons why this is the case. And then we tell them how. So how do you set up your office? What are some jobs that you could do in your office?
Yeah.
So for instance, if it's a salon, well, they can clean out your hairbrushes, they can sweep your floors, they can clean your bathrooms, they can stock, they can do all of those things. So really giving them the idea of there are things in your place that you don't have time to do that they
don't even want to do.
Right. Yeah. Most of the time that's what it is without saying it, right? I don't really want to do this. But folding towels, washing towels.
Purpose.
Yeah.
Want to do it.
And they want to do it and take pride in it.
Yeah.
And then the last part is coming up with a job description and a job application, because it might look a little different than you and I filling out an application, right? They ask everything but like, I don't know what color blood you have. And so you're like, that probably isn't the same, right? Type of application. But 2, how to interview. What are questions that would be helpful for you to know, like, what makes you tick? Like, what makes you tick off? Like, how do you handle all of that? And what does that look like? How do you calm yourself if something bad goes on? And we teach them that not if something is going to happen, but when something happens. We all get frustrated sometimes. But how do we handle that? Well, their ability to handle it might look a little different. So we need to have things in place ahead of time so that if something happens, it's not bigger than it has to be. And so it's just an education piece. And then they get to decide, is this something we want to do or is it not something we want to do? What they do with that is up between them and the Lord. But luckily, so far, everybody's done it.
That's amazing.
Awesome. So, and then we also take it and send it out to our wait list and the wait list of special needs and treats over in Lawrenceville. And then we also post it on our website. And so they actually have their applications all on Google Forms. And so we link it to our website. We link all the things. And so people can go there. So when we get someone that walks in with an application, we'll say, hey, listen, we're going to put you on our wait list, but I want you to also go to this place. These are the jobs that are open right now for you specifically.
And you have those listings on the website, I think I saw.
That is growing. That is going to grow this week.
Which is, I mean, I find that amazing because it's like maybe you knew this or not, but you named it Brightside, and these employers taking them in, now they have a Brightside. Like, because you had, I would correct me if I'm wrong, it was Ryan, right? Who was just hired over here, and he's challenging the other employees, and like, or even when they're having a hard time, like, but I can look on the bright side. There's Ryan there as an example, and it's
named it Brightside. That's the one thing we said is, well, they look on the bright side of every, like,
they do.
Of life, and we have tough times sometimes, and everybody does, but they just aren't always just uplifting and happy. Like Ashley, we get 1,000 hugs a day, and it's like, okay, we're good.
They're almost always in a constant good mood, even more than we do.
Yes.
They're genuine.
Yes.
Well, it's real. It's not, it's not putting on a facade.
Right. It's what they know. It's who they are and what they know. That's amazing.
And sometimes you get the other side of if something, if something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. One of my
Really are.
Yes, one of my favorite stories though is a girl named Kayla. She works here on Mondays and Fridays, and when we first hired her, she didn't want to come to orientation. She didn't want to walk in. Her mom's like, just go. And I'm like, so I said to her, I said, listen, all I need you to do is listen. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Just listen. Give us a chance, and we promise you'll love it. And so she did, and she came, and she was fine, and she worked, and we were on our soft opening, and we were not busy at all. And then all of a sudden, this group of 10 came in, and she flipped out, literally, and let me know everything that she was not happy about, and cried, and ran off, and all the things. And I was like, y'all gonna have to give me a minute, because at that point I was by myself, and I'm like, you're gonna have to give me a minute, I gotta go fix her. And I just went in and just prayed with her and just said, listen, like, God's gonna take care of us, and we're gonna be fine. They're gonna sit over there, and they're gonna have family time, and we're gonna get this list going, and we're gonna be fine. And so we go through and we get it all done, and we sit down at the counter, and she looks over, and it's funny because I always say, like, you never know what's going to come out. You're like, oh dear God, please just let it be okay. And she Jennifer, and I went, and she said, I'm just so proud of myself.
Wow.
And at that moment, I knew, like, this is going to be all right, and we are here for that purpose. And girlfriend now, listen, she walks around with her chest poked out, and she sings karaoke. One night we had karaoke after hours on a Friday night, and her dad came, and he boo-hooed. He said, I've never, ever seen this. You have changed your life.
Wow.
And that's what this is about, is giving purpose to a group of people who often feel unseen, unheard, and just not valued in their community on being able to work, play, live, join in, all the things. Yeah. It's just important.
That's beautiful.
She, came in here, quiet as a mouse, standing to stare out the window the whole time pretty much. She was our caller, so, but didn't really want to do a whole bunch. Now she works the register. Parents take bowling every Monday night. She's a social butterfly. She goes, they'll find her bowling night, talking with friends. Never in a million years. They were going to sell their house and move to the lake, and they said, this has changed the world, their life. And they built their life on their Brightside.
Wow.
Well, her dad sat in the business meeting last week in front of, we were packed, the whole place. There was 50 people, business leaders in here, and he sat right there, and we had spoke, and they go around the room, and he wasn't going to say anything, and then he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm not a business leader. I am here because my daughter is giving me a coffee. And he said, and he started crying. He said, you don't understand what this has done for her. And so these families are finally feeling like their children and them.
Yeah.
And they are seen.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to be a part of.
Like, oh my God, this is like, we're doing this, It's like, it's right when we get as tired as we get, those are the kind of things that, like, you just keep going, you keep grinding, because you know that we're making a difference in these guys.
That's
Well, and $6 coffee doesn't make this go round. It's the people who support us, and we have been very blessed, and will continue to be blessed, and welcome anybody that wants to be a part of this, because it really is, whether it's volunteering, whether it's financial, whether it's just coming to the cafe, whether it's having the on-the-go trailer out, all the things help this and help them explore what it could be.
And it's awesome because our guys have made relationships with our regular customers too. Like they'll run into people at the gym and here and there, and they're like, "Oh, hey!" It's like they've got friends.
They've got friends now.
Met here, they meet here every day or every other day, or whatever, and hang out with them. It's just awesome.
It is cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. This is really incredible. I'm moved by all your stories. Is there any one thing that you'd like to invite people to? I know you got the boot scooting, line dancing coming up.
I think I would just like to invite people to be involved. Just to come be involved. Come see it. Come feel it. Come immerse yourself in it, whatever that looks like. Because I'm going to tell you, like, your life, I tell people all the time, trust me, you will not regret it. Your life will change. Your perception will change. The way that you handle the community and the people in the community will change. watched people go, like the guys that are volunteering. Like one guy was doing networking for 4 hours, and he quit his networking group to come volunteer for 4 hours. He's like, I can get more out of here than I can in a group full of business leaders just trying to sell my product. I'd rather give my time back. That's when your businesses flourish, right? Like when you start putting other people in front of yourself. And so we've seen tons of people. So come get involved. Come be a part of it.
Kids to get involved. Teenagers.
No,
Brightside games for our money. Like, I mean, for kids these days, they're so involved in technology. And all the things, that being around this and being exposed to it can change the way they perceive life too. And you guys have it good. So come hang out with these guys and fit in their world for a day, experience it. And, I think it changed. I mean, I know for my kids, it's changed their,
That's amazing.
Their life. So
That's amazing. I had actually one more question that came to mind. So in my travels with Nick, most of the time they'll put everyone with special abilities in the front, whether wheelchairs or no wheelchairs, and just there. And he always makes a point in taking the time to say hi to every single one of them. And what I've seen happen is that as soon as they get to meet him, say hi to him, hug him, embrace him, they feel empowered. Because somebody else with special abilities can actually do what he's doing, go out there and do that. And how many stories of that have come back? Because, it's one thing for them to say to you, like, thank you so much for opening the door. But someone with special abilities meeting somebody else who's working here with special abilities already.
I can tell you this. So anytime we go to like Bears Make a Difference, which is an inclusive baseball program over at Rabbit Hill, we were there yesterday, or anytime we go to an elementary school, or they come here for a field trip or whatever, it's really cool to watch, like, the kids, the parents, the teachers to go. Like, we have these future employee shirts, and it's like, they are like, there's hope. I can't tell you how many parents come up to us and just thank you for doing this, so that my child, when they get that age, has a place. And so that's what's important, is that yes, we're giving them hope, but we're giving the younger generation a hope. So hopefully by the time these kids are older, there will be a Brightside on every corner, like there is the other place on the corner. Or like
we want to be the coffee shop on every corner.
And because we could put one of these in every community and there still isn't enough. And that's the thing. Like, there's Liability, there's special needs and treats, there's us, there's puzzle piece pastries, and the day programs are awesome. Don't get me wrong, we love day programs, but there are people out there who want to make money so that they don't have to depend on their parents, or they can go to
they go buy things.
Like, we're always like, what you gonna do with your first paycheck, and so it really is a big deal, because we're able to show the littles and their parents there's hope, and we're trying our best to make. We always say we're working on it. We're doing everything we know what to do. We're working on it, and so like the goal is to not to so much franchise. That's the word that we're using, but like to put one of these expand to scale or whatever you want to call it. Like, the franchise words makes me want to switch because I don't want people to be pigeonholed, but at the same time,
multiply.
Yes, multiply. But I do want, like, there's gotta be this in more communities. There has to be, and that's when you start changing things, right? But there's also, again, until we can do that, which again, $6 coffee doesn't go very far, so we need support. There has to be businesses who open up their hearts. That's when real change happens. I'd love 1,000 of these. But I also want businesses to open up their businesses, because that's important too. Because coffee, not everybody wants the same coffee. So,
not everybody. I mean, like, there's more people out there that have more talents than sip coffee. They're capable of doing more than just coffee. So we love them here, but go spread your wings.
Which is why you have them up there.
Yes. Well, that's
another story. Next time.
Look, yes, those wings were not supposed to be done. They were actually supposed to be a giraffe with really big eyes, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I just feel like this is.
A lot of times people we've gotten a lot of comments that we've had a lot of good daycares.
Yeah. So thank you. So it wasn't.
So that would have really been
Yeah,
daycare.
that would have, yeah. So we were just not feeling it. Well, this horse out here, the statue, one of our parents wanted to know what the connection was. Like, what is this dude on the statue? Like, why is there a horse in the middle of Buford? We don't understand. And so the guy that's next to the horse, that is Roy Rogers, who was an actor in the Westerns, and he would come to the tannery to get his saddles. And so they put a whatever famous guy, whatever. Eventually Adam Sandler will be out there too, because he came through too. But so there's a story behind it. So his wife and him had a daughter with autism. I'm sorry, with Down syndrome. And before the doctors figured out there was heart issues, she died. And the wife wrote a book called Angel Unaware. And we did not know this when we put the wings on the wall. And so through that, it was like, those wings were supposed to be there. And so you talk about like, we're in the right spot.
Right from your window view.
So she wrote a thing about it, and we have it somewhere.
Yeah, it was in the North Gwinnett Voice, and so it's just cool because but in the book the wife talks about how she dreams of a place that sorry, I told this story 5 minutes ago. What's wrong with me? That they're that she dreams of a place where people like her daughter will grow up and be able to belong and find purpose and hope in a job. And
here we are.
It's really weird. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's just this is heaven sent, and we know that. And so we'll just keep on trucking until everybody knows.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Excited. I can't wait. I read it first. No, I read the last one first. So I'm like, I'll read it like a day. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It's a long story, but it's a good one.
We can keep going.
Talk for a day. I know. We love to be able to tell our story to anybody.